Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. I'm here with Coach John Brent.
And I am here with Bet in Griffin in our hoodies.
Yes.
Get a little chill outside. It's been raining.
Man, I like that white hoodie. That looks
That's what
bad.
December does. That's what December does.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
how many places in the country can you sit outside in December, really? In shorts?
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
I can tell you this. In Michigan, you sure the heck couldn't do that.
Right.
My dogs wouldn't even go outside around that time after
Yeah.
about 2 foot of snow. Like, no.
Just get them a pea pad and say, good luck, buddy.
Yeah, they're like, you want me to go out there?
You go with me.
They would stand right next
Yeah.
to it. Anyway, so it's December, and we want to talk about what's your Christmas traditions.
Wow. This
Yes.
is great.
So, Go ahead, Coach. I'll let
Well, I'll tell you what, when I first think about the word Christmas tradition, I think about when I'm a kid. So I'm going to give you what we did as a kid, and I miss it so much. We'd always get up on Christmas morning in Pittsburgh, and my mom and I would do our little Christmas thing in the morning where Santa would drop off my goods. And then we would run to Dallas. And my grandparents' house lived in Pleasant Grove, and it was this little bitty house in this neighborhood, and it was kids in the neighborhood, and my cousins would come from Irving. There was 4 of them, and they would all come over there, and we would play football in the yard, and we would get in trouble for being in the house and get out the yard, and we'd run in and grab some food and get in trouble. But just the Christmas tradition of having the family there, the food's cooking, grandma and all the ladies are in the kitchen, the guys are on the round table watching the TV, and just having everybody together on that Christmas at the grandparents' house is something I'll never forget. And of course, when your grandparents pass away, traditions change. But as a kid, I'll always remember that as, that's what Christmas was.
So for me as a kid, Christmas Eve was always done at my grandparents' house in Mount Pleasant. And my papa, he would get a crazy Christmas gift that was my mom or my aunt and uncle would get him. He'd get like a little knitted nose warmer and some other things and a hat. And he would walk around the neighborhood with like a little lantern and go knock on doors and say, "Hey, Merry Christmas," and hand them stuff.
Oh, that's great.
He ate it
That's
up.
awesome.
He loved it.
Mm.
So but Christmas Eve at my grandparents was always the best because my meemaw would spoil the Jolly Whittakers out of you.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
and it was just fun, And then the next morning, Mom and Dad had to meet the loot, for Santa Claus that Meemaw had,
Mhm.
and that was a challenge at times. So we didn't have a lot of money. A couple of years, she had to call Meemaw and say, "Hey, you can't outdo Santa Claus. You just
Can't outdo Santa Claus.
You
That's
got to
true.
slow it down, And but that was our Christmas. You had Christmas Eve there,
Yes.
and then you had Christmas Day at our house, and that was really just the people that was in our house, the Griffin
Yeah.
kids, and that's what we did there. I've been blessed to be around the world a little bit. We have a whole bunch of different Christmas customs. And I want to talk about your customs and my customs, but I also want to talk about just after the end, we'll talk about a couple of memories
Okay.
that stuck with us that's just kind of cool.
Sure.
And so one of the things that we do is we start out we have the little calendar thing, and my wife has a fancy German name for it that I don't know what the heck she's saying, but it's where they get the candies and all this other stuff for each day. But I think it's December 6th, and I might have the day wrong, and she's going to spank me for this, spank my hand for saying this, but we have Nicolaus comes. And so the kids put their shoes outside the door, and they go to bed, and they wake up in the morning. St. Nicolaus comes, and they bring them toys, chocolates. Germans, they can't do anything without chocolate and beer. And, so they can't give them beer yet. They got to be at least 5 to get beer in Germany. So you got to give them chocolates, and some and toys.
You get beer at 5. I had
Yeah.
some friends of mine there. Got beer at about 5 too. When I was growing up.
So that's the first tradition that we kind of do at our house, and I'll pass it over to you, Coach.
Well, one of the things that we do at ours is the girls absolutely love getting everything set up right after Thanksgiving, or something. This year, actually, Thanksgiving week is like, let's go ahead and get it started. But we have a calendar also we put up, and every day, it comes off. A little thing comes off, and it has a little I don't know, little Christmas things on it. Um, I love, one of the things that I've done every year as being a teacher is I love making pretzel rods, chocolate pretzel rods.
Oh man.
And so I dip them in chocolate, lay them on paper, and then sprinkle. Some have nuts, some have sprinkles, some have M&Ms, some have cereals on them, and taking that to my students. Now my inmates, they absolutely fell in love with it, and because they don't get many treats. And they, I mean, even the beginning of this year, like, when are you bringing the pretzels? When are you bringing the pretzels? So it's a tradition I've done for them. I make about 350, 400 of them, give them out to people. And we love that. Now, from a tradition of Christmas Day and Christmas morning now, I'll go ahead and let you, what do y'all do now?
So what we do now, well, the wife, she tells me all the time that we have 3 Christmases.
Okay.
And I'm like, my gosh, honey. And, but they do a little bit each day, but because we move so much, our big deal, to be honest, is we'll sit up normally around, we sit up right after Thanksgiving, and we'll set up Christmas, and we'll prepare for that. And we get the kids in on Christmas Day, and we have a great meal, and we open presents on Christmas Day. Sometimes we'll open up on Christmas Eve, and sometimes it's Christmas Day. It just depends. And then kind of a unique thing is we always watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, okay.
And my kids hate it. They hate it
watch
like
a
that.
bunch of Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
For the
Oh,
month,
really?
For the whole month.
Oh, my gosh.
We record it all. Yeah.
Oh,
Vidkey. Vidkey.
No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. Well, Wonderful Life's good, but that's it. And my kids go, Dad, it's a black and white movie. It can't be good. I said, have you ever seen Casablanca? Go watch that, and you'll be like, man, it's just like it came out.
Yeah.
Come on, stop that.
Awesome. Well, last year I took the girls. Sydney had a football game in Reliance Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
She was on the drill team for White House, and then I had a state semifinal game in San Marcos, and then we flew up to. I just took the 2 girls because Linda doesn't want to fly right now to New York City, and I remember walking around. It was one day. It was really cold. We decided we were going to walk around at night just to see the lights by Central Park, and we came up to the plaza. And so the reason I'm getting to that is there's a Hallmark movie that came out, Christmas at the Plaza.
Oh, really?
And it was a big thing that we get to see last year because we were like, oh my gosh, we were just there. But the Hallmark movies have been something that Linda and I have enjoyed. And they always have the weird, everybody's got a Christmas name and everybody's going to fall in love. They're going to kiss under the mistletoe. They're going to live in a town that's called, some kind of Christmas name. And it's sappy stuff. But it's good to sit down sometimes and hear the jingles and see the snow, because a lot of times we don't get snow around here in these movies, and we record them, and it's kind of fun. So that's a tradition. Now, Christmas morning, the way we do things here is at Christmas Eve, everybody gets a present. Christmas morning, the last couple of years, we've gotten up, had our Santa, and everybody gets their gifts. And then we get in the car and we go to Anna, Texas. And the reason that's so important to me is because what I was saying earlier about my grandparents' house with my cousins from Irving. Well, now all those guys are grown up, and one of those lives in Anna.
Oh, cool.
And one now was in the military. He just retired. He lives in the Abilene area.
Okay.
And then got one in South Dallas, actually South Grand Prairie. And then we have us out here. And then the other one lives on Lake, what's it called? White Rock Lake in Dallas. And so everybody converges on Anna. And everybody, instead of doing Christmas like turkey and all that, it's everybody bring a Mexican dish.
Oh, cool.
So we do that, and we do White Elephant, which is absolutely hilarious. And all the kids, the grandkids, and the nieces and nephews, they're running around. It's crazy. It just kind of reminds me of that vibe back at my grandparents' house. And David and Melanie do an amazing job. They've also, like I said before in one of our other podcasts, we're at a blended family here, Linda and I, and everybody's involved. And it's like from day one when they walk the door, they're just part of the family.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like my grandparents' tradition sprinkled over into us, because there's a number of years when they died till they started doing this in Anna. There was probably 8 or 9 years that no one got together.
Oh, man.
And, we're all sprinkled out. So in the last 3 years, that's the only time I've seen those 4 cousins from Irving is on that day. We always say we're going to see each other more. But it's like we walk in, we pick on each other, we punch each other. Like we've never stopped playing football on Major Drive in Pleasant Grove at the grandparents' house years ago. It's just greatness.
Cool. So I had a boss that he told me on his Christmas what they did is he had 2 kids, and his wife and him, and each one of them on Christmas morning would wake up and they would cook their own specialty, what was special to them. And so they would have anywhere from Asian food to tacos to for wild wings and all this other stuff. And so it's a feast, just a different style of feast. So I got a couple of things I'd like to say that just fond memories, and most of these are adult, not so much as young, that's happened on our Christmases. And I figured we'd just share a couple back and forth. And one of them I'll say is I was in Germany, and my mom came for Christmas. And if you knew my mom, she had lived a year of her life in Seattle, Washington, and she loved the snow. Well, you're in Texas, you're not getting it. And she craved it, so she wanted to come see us. And it was a time that she walked everywhere, and because I didn't see it a lot in her later life. And she walked everywhere where she went through all the fortresses and everything, but it snowed on Christmas Eve, and she came down. And so in Germany on Christmas Eve, you go to church on Christmas Eve at night. And if anybody knows my mom, she can't sing, she can't carry a tune in a bucket. She was in the choir, but she can't carry a tune in a bucket. I inherited that, by the way. So, but they were singing in German, "O Holy Night." And we were in this beautiful, huge church in Kitzingen, Germany, pipe organ, everything else. And she was wailing that thing in English while they were wailing it in German. And it brought a tear to my eye because later when I was in Liberia, after my mom passed, they had the Vision Choir come in. And they said, "Hey, we got a surprise for you." We're like, "We're going home early." No, they're singing songs for us. Like, what? And the first song they sang was "Oh Holy Night." And I had to walk away because I had tears in my eyes. It made me think of my mom and how happy she was just singing that song. So that's one of my memories.
I have a couple that came up. Speaking back to my grandparents, my grandmother and granddad owned, well, I say owned, they did home remodeling together for 30, 40 years. He did all the work and the drywall and changing out everything, and she was the painter, even in their 50s, 60s, 70s. And so they didn't have a lot of money, but she loved to crochet. And every freaking year, we got a crochet blanket, me and my 4 cousins, from either the Dallas Cowboy colors or Irving Nimitz covers or Pittsburgh Pirate colors. And then there was times that we got Coke can covers.
Oh, man.
So it was always something crocheted. And at the time, I was like, what the hell, Mom? Is that all I'm going to get on? But now I look back, and I so appreciate that she did that. The second thing is, I think the memory I have the most is when Linda and I first got together, I wanted to surprise her with a trip to Marshall because she's from Buffalo, New York, actually from East Aurora, which is between, say, Buffalo and Niagara Falls. It's in that area, which is cold all the time. And that's why she moved to Texas, was to get away from the cold. It was pretty much, she said, about 3 months out of the year, you got sun and warmth. The rest, it was just cold and miserable. And I was like, well, I want to take her to Marshall to go ice skating. And so my memory of her was just taking and going ice skating because I just being with the lights. And if you've ever been to Marshall, the courthouse is lit up and they got the music playing. And there's cocoa, and it was really freaking cold. And so my memory of Christmas now is every year when we did that, it was one of our first dates actually. Then the next year when we took all the kids together and even took Colin and pushing him around the ice in his wheelchair was probably one of the greatest, it is probably the greatest memory I have for Christmas. It's because for the first, it seemed like there's finally, this family was blending together perfectly. It was Christmas time. Like a Hallmark movie was going on really because, you know, the music, the sounds, the smells. And but Christmas is probably, it is my favorite time of the year.
So, Coach, I got 2 more, and then I apologize. They drag on. You know, old guys, that's how we are. So when I was in Desert Shield at the time, we were at a place called Low Base Alpha, where they shipped everybody out. My whole company was there, and they said, "Hey, you guys are on advance party. There's only like 15 of us. You're going to go ahead and go forward all the way up to where the company's going to base out of later." So we drove 2 whole days and nights. didn't sleep at all. And then we finally got there, and it was bitter cold because it's in the desert, and it was Christmas Eve when we got there. And our job is to receive 300 people coming in and have it set up for them. We were struggling just to keep warm and everything else, and we finally found a potbelly stove, which is how you heated a tent. You had to have fire guard because they catch on fire. And we're in this one tent. We were able to get all that together, and the lieutenant leans over and says, "Guys, would you like for me to read the Christmas story?"
Oh my God.
And I will say that we were so petrified because we didn't know what was to be expected. And you think about it, it was just a moment of reverence because you're in the Middle East where a lot of things happened, you know, in biblical times. And it was so peaceful for him to read the Christmas story out of the Bible. And it's always stuck with me. It was a very proud moment of just being there and being in that ambiance. And then the next story is hilarious. It's more funny. But the next one is when I was in Germany also, I had a lieutenant. His name was Tom Krupp. And he had little ones about that tall, you know, about 2 and 4, something like that. Probably even smaller than that. And mine were 6 to like 12 or something like that. And we had 4. And I had a Santa suit. And what we did was we went to his house Christmas Eve. And I stayed back in the car and I put on the Santa suit and knocked on the door, and he handed me 2 presents. And I saw his kids and I gave them presents.
Oh, that's awesome.
So then I went back to the car and put my Santa suit in the car, and I came in and said, "Hey, sir, work just called. You got to go back to work." And he went to my house with the Santa suit. Now, my kids are a little older than his kids. And in our house, we had bay windows that were huge. This beautiful house. And I had a drum set for the boys in there. And so when we pulled up in the van, he's playing the drums in the Santa suit, and he walks out, and I stop the van, and the kids get out. "Ho, ho, ho, Merry Christmas, Griffin kids." And my kids took off after him.
Oh, my God.
They chased him 5 blocks, and all of a sudden you heard Santa Claus going, "Ho, ho, ho, Merry Christmas," going, "Oh, shit."
Being chased.
He said, "I have never ran so hard in my life." He said, "Ty and Chris and Mark, they were going to catch me. They were bound to catch me." Oh, my God.
Memories.
And Jesse was just dragging along. But it's just beautiful memories. And, you know, and it's just kind of what friends do, you know.
I have one more memory. It's always funny. Everybody always shops the month before and does all this, even though I did buy one present yesterday for my wife. I'm not going to tell you what it is because, like, she's going to watch.
I got work to do on that one.
Yeah, but I love, and I've always done this, either Christmas Eve or a day before Christmas Eve, I decide I'm going by myself, and I just buy all my Christmas presents. I like the lines. I love the smell. I like, you know, everything. And I don't know why I've done that. Most people hate it. Most of my guy friends are like, "Dude, I'll just order a line." Or you know. But I actually enjoy it. I enjoy going and just being in the crowd just for that one day. And this year being a COVID, I'm still going to do it. I'll wear my mask. I'll do whatever I need to do. But I enjoy looking at the stuff, touching it, getting in the line, telling them Merry Christmas, hearing the bells, hearing the songs, seeing the kids. I just love it. And I think that's, it might be just something that when I was a kid, really didn't have a lot of money. My parents were divorced, so it's like, what I got from my dad, my mom always said, "Hey, go down to Taylor's drugstore, get your dad something, put it on my account." My dad would always say, "Hey, get your mom something at Taylor's drugstore and put it on my account." And that was kind of like the only shopping I really got to do as a kid. And so I absolutely love the tradition of going out the day before Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve and just getting in the crowd.
I will say, Coach, when we were kids, when we was Nazarene Church, December time frame, they always did a thing where all the youth went down there to go, like, spend a day at the mall. For people in Pittsburgh, Texas, that was huge, you know, and we go shopping and do Christmas shopping. And I enjoyed listening to music and seeing the scenery, but I ain't a crowd guy no more. I just can't do that, so.
But you're going to watch a Hallmark movie.
No,
Vicky, we're going to watch a Hallmark all together.
Yes,
I'll make coffee. Y'all make, well, they'll probably drink wine. And, after December 5th, I'll be able to have a beer.
Yes.
So then maybe we'll have beer and watch a Hallmark movie. That's about the only way we'll make. Or maybe we'll just take a shot every time they use a Christmas reference, and we'll be drunk the first 7 minutes.
We'll drink some Blue Eye.
There you go.
So, yes, that'd be good. Well, hey, we want to hear your Christmas traditions.
Yes.
Because we might want to steal them from you, to be honest with you.
Yes.
You know, because that's what we do, you know. And anyway.
That's been my favorite part, and I hate to interrupt you. That's been my favorite part of this whole coaching the vet thing is the comments and seeing other people's ideas, other people's life, other people's story. Like Carl Paget, some of the stuff that he puts about being in the military, absolutely didn't spend a lot of time with Carl in school. He was a couple years older. But I feel like now I know the kind of person he really is.
Yeah.
And, man, what a great guy that guy has become. Jerry Jackson, the same way. Alan Bailey's comments, it could be high humor, or it could actually be something that, you know what, what a great guy. And Alan and I played a lot of basketball together growing up, and it was a lot of fun times, but I just love hearing all the people's comments. It's really my favorite part of it.
We want to know if you got something just that's totally opposite of ours, you know.
Yeah.
And one thing we're going to say is we'll throw a podcast here soon also, because Coach and I are going to be down in Fredericksburg, going to the Chris Kendall Market. Oh, yeah.
And we're going down there after I have a competition that I've 6 months had to eat certain things. This is the first weekend after it.
Yes.
And we're going to eat. I'm probably going to order stuff I won't even eat.
Yeah, you're going to eat a lot.
Just going to eat.
Chris Kendall Market's going to have something at every place there is. So it's going to be cool. You got to bring your wallet.
No, I'm not bringing my wallet. I'm going to let the wife do it. Put it on the Freedom card.
Yes. Well, hey, let us know what you do for Christmas. And we want you to have a great rest of the year, to be honest.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. So from the coach.
And to the vet.
Stay tuned.
Merry Christmas.
Yes.